માતાજી. जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करके बंधन लेंगे। महामंत्र।
Shri Adi Shakti Mata Di Shri
हम सभी श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनते हुए ध्यान करेंगे।
Because I don't know what to say, see, because I don't know what you want to know, so better to ask me direct. It's not so. It's all nonsense, I tell you, this is the trouble is that, supposing again a villager comes in, you see, and he puts his fingers in the switch, you see, plug, and says, I get a shock from electricity, no light. What will you say? That you have no knowledge about it. In the same way, those people who felt fire and all that have been the people who led a very bad life themselves, you see. And they use sex to awakened the Kundalini. Now, as you have seen in the chart, you can see it clearly there, that the Kundalini is above the Muladhara chakra. See, that's a very significant point. It is above the Muladhara chakra. Means, when it is awakened, it doesn't pass through the Muladhara, which looks after the sex. So sex does not play a part in the Kundalini awakening. On the contrary, when the Kundalini is awakened, the sex slips off. You become like a child, innocent, and then it rises. So these people try to excite the sex to raise the Kundalini. So there is Shri Ganesha sitting there, you see. He gets angry, and that's how you get this fire. I told you the other day how people had such problem. There was one fellow who felt that lots of bees have bitten him, but another one I knew who had a blister all round like this, all round in his neck, like a garland in his neck. So these are the people who do not know what to be done, and they just do it. We call it anadhikar cheshta, means unauthorized behavior. But as a mother, I give them sort of a chance, benefit of doubt about them as a mother. I think that they must have tried to see the chakras. You can do it. Supposing you go jump onto your sympathetic, you can jump onto your sympathetic. If you try very hard, you see, if you go to the right or to the left, you jump on the sympathetic nervous system. Then what happens if you are on the sympathetic nervous system? Say, this is nice, 3 flowers. That can give you an example. Now, we'll put it this way. So what happens, that when you jump on the sympathetic, that is this one or this one, alright? This has connection with this like that. See? The connection moves, the path is like that. You see? Can you see my hand going round this flower, alright? So what happens when you move towards this side, you can move round these centers and go back. And they can see the center. But while you have got your realization passing through the center, you didn't see any center or anything. They see it because they are from outside. Say, if you want to see this house, you have to go out to see the house, isn't it? Like that. So what happens, that they come round like that and go round like that. So while going round the Muladhara chakra, they tried on Muladhara. On Muladhara chakra, they must have seen have you seen Ganesha? May they have seen Ganesha or not? He soon dakuri paite. Nahi, Ganesh nahi, guna kare. You haven't got any Ganesha here?
Betty, have you got a picture?
I am Murti. सोंडीला काय म्हणतात इंग्लिश मध्ये? टस्क नाही ट्रंक म्हणतात. ट्रंक. So the whole story you will know about Ganesha, how Ganesha was created as an eternal child, and now he has a trunk, see, and that trunk they must have seen and felt that this is the Kundalini, see. So they must have fixed the idea. I am giving a benefit of doubt of myself, just not to curse them permanently. You cannot use sex for your awakening. So they tried in the sixth business, that let us excite the sex and Kundalini will rise. How can it be? This is why when you try to do all these wrong things, you get the heat. And that's why they say it's a fire. It is not. This is all very recent. You will be surprised. These books are written only about at the most 60 to 70 years back. But if you see our ancient books, nowhere. Not very ancient also. Gyaneshwaran se कहते होते. बस ज्ञानेश्वर कभी होते. 8वें शतक. 18th century we had Gyaneshwara. We had Kabir Dasa about 300 years back. 300 years back, Kabir Das, they never wrote anything. This is all recent because the stupidity came from somewhere that you excite the sex. The sex business started only recently, isn't it? And since then they started saying if you excite the sex, you get your realization. Imagine. Sex plays no part, you can see it clearly there.
Well, there's somebody in the room, I won't name the person, but since their seeking has got stronger, the relationship with the husband has gone down to the point where now it's not good. And secondly, the sexual communication is absolutely finished.
How can that be? That's not possible. That means in a wrong way you're going. Now say, again, we'll use the same. It's a good idea, 3 flowers. So these are our 3 channels, alright? Now, what happens that when you start seeking, how do you seek? Through your mind. There's no other way out. You have no Kundalini awakening, nothing. I mean, the real path is through Kundalini awakening, your attention goes up. So what you do, you take your attention like this, it's here, spread out. Now when the Kundalini rises, she pushes up like that and pierces through. And then the collective consciousness and all these qualities penetrate. And that's how you get your attention completely covered with these qualities. Otherwise, what you do is to either move to the left or to the right. So this attention goes to the left or to the right. You cannot do otherwise. You cannot go up. Because the path is of Kundalini. Lance Ashtavinayaka. That's not, but Ashtavinayaka. These are the Ganeshas which have come out of Mother Earth in India. You see, and that they give vibrations. That's how you make it up. In the Bible it is written that whatever is created by the heavens, that is the incarnations, and whatever is created by the Mother Earth should not be reproduced and worshipped. But we miss the point. We don't want to see what is produced by Mother Earth. There must be something. So many things. And the realized souls, when they make some statues, that they also emit vibrations. They also emit vibrations. I don't know about America, but in America also I may be able to find out places. But in France, this place, Notre Dame, the Mary statue gives vibrations. Notre Dame gives vibrations. Stonehenge gives vibration. So many places gives vibrations, but unless and until you are a realized soul, you cannot make it out, isn't it? Now, so what I was saying, that when you go to the extremes, on this side or this side. Now, if you go to the extremes on the right side, what happens? That you become right-sided person first. Your liver goes out, then you get your heat, then you becomes dry person, then you go with it more and more. Especially if you do Hatha Yoga and all that, you go to the right side much more. Then by going to the right side much more, it has physical effects also. Or it has also emotional effect. And the emotional effect is that you become very dry person. So dry that you become, of course, very dominating, very angry person, very hot-tempered, no doubt. Plus, you become a dry person. So, as a result of that, your sex organs do not operate normally. One can become impotent. Even if somebody has a very dominating wife, a man can become impotent. It has a emotional madrata. Emotional, we can say, the feelings are necessary for sex life. It's not mechanical, you see. It's not mechanical. Now, what happens that when people are possessed, then they are not aware of it. It becomes mechanical because they get possessed. Like rapists and all these people are possessed people. They are possessed. So this right side movement gives you this problem. But if you are left-sided, then you start indulging into it too much and going into it, and then you start sort of all the time pining for it and asking for it, and also whatever the other party may do to you, but still you feel you are not adequate, you haven't received your love from your husband, and you start feeling all the time in what you call a separation mood. That also happens. Unduly you become hysterical and start crying, weeping, for not understanding. So if you are too much in, say, in a way, in a seeking where you become devotional personality. Then what happens? Such devotional people, they all the time they are crying. Those who are seeking in the other way, that reading too much about it and then sacrificing this and then also saying I'm detached and all that nonsense, you see. You really get detached from your emotions. There's no balance. Even a person who is running on the streets, I find all of them, you see, running all the time, this what they call them, jogging. If you overdo it, they may become the same. Very dry. Very dry. Those who pay too much attention to their physical fitness become very dry people. It's a question of an imbalanced personality. Because seeking you cannot do yourself. It is spontaneous happening. The fulfillment, I mean. Seeking you can have. But they go to extremes, they do all kinds of things. I will not eat my food for 10 days and I will not do this, I will not. This is all not necessary to do. I know you are seekers, I know you are madly seeking, I know that. It happens when you are mad about seeking, you to do every sort of thing, doesn't matter. It's all right to get your realization, you are all right in the center. Makes no difference. It happens, yes. But we'll come down. Suddenly you will find you become so romantic with your husband.
In this case, the husband has lost the interest and has separated himself from the ladies because he's...
Is he jogging? Jogging is also a madness of seeking, I think. You see, it is a madness. In this country, America, such seekers are born, I tell you, such seekers are born. That's why the first country I visited was America, I will be surprised. But nobody listened to me. Because they were on another trip of ego, you see. We must pay to the Guru, we must buy the Guru, this, that, and they couldn't digest me, you see. This is too much for them. So they went to all kinds of trips, so I said, all right, I'll come later on. As a result, we lost a lot of them, no doubt. A lot of them are lost. I know, but what to do? You have your freedom to do what you like. I can't cross over your freedom. I cannot force you to do something. I cannot mesmerize you like the gurus did. It was like a guru shopping, I tell you, going on regularly. Even in the society which I move, like so-called elite society, they talk like this. Have you been to this guru? He's much cheaper, Discount is on and all that sort of things. But you are wise people, sensible people. Now try to understand. You cannot make market of God. You cannot pay for God. How can you pay? I mean, what will you pay? It's a living process. We have gone too far with it. We think we have to pay for everything. You see, so we just can't conceive an idea that you can get it without paying. And now you have become from amoeba to this stage. How much did you pay for that? From monkey to this stage, did we pay anything or did we do anything? Just automatically there's a force within us which has worked it out and that is going to work it out. Leave it to God who has created us. It is His job, not our problem. It's His problem. But the seeking is so great and competition as it is in England or in America is so much that you must compete. So in seeking also there is competition. And thirdly, the worst part is this, which is the worst of all. You are born in a country which is affluent as a reward of what good you did in your last life, something. But this country does not have the knowledge of the roots. So you are misled. If you had accepted a country like India, which is a poor country, things would have been all right. It was your choice. Where this knowledge is, there resides. Not in the cities where the gurus are existing to catch you. See, as soon as you go at the airport, they'll catch you. I was very angry with me when I told them against this parapsychology. They were very against me, you see. And now the whole foundation has gone down. and the people have become mad in San Diego. So it was such a contrast, and I tried, but it didn't work out. So this dryness comes by thinking too much. You think too much. What are you thinking about? By thinking you receive nothing. You have to be in thoughtless awareness. Then only you will grow. You cannot sort out anything by thinking. By thinking you can only move in a linear direction. Like your science has moved up to what point? To create atomic bomb. Now atomic bomb is become a sort of a big demon for them. Anything you do, go to extremes on one side linear. It's not on all sides and it's not integrated. But after realization you see the integrated being within you. Then you don't think. Let God think for us. Why should we think? He solves our problems. But if you don't give him the problems, he said, all right, go ahead, try yours. As simple as that, isn't it? All this madness, schizophrenia, even cancer is due to left side. It's possession. And you see, this country when you came in, when the Spaniards came in, they killed so many of them. So many of them. First when I came to America, I thought I was walking in a cemetery or what, God knows. It's funny vibrations. And you were born in this part.
No, I was born in Toronto.
Huh?
I was born in Toronto.
No, but what I'm saying on the whole. So it's so, I mean, full of these horrible people who want to take revenge with you. And they are there waiting just to grab you. Wars, so many wars you had. All the time wars in the South and North war and all those things, you see. I think so many presidents were killed also. So much of violence in this country has taken place. Person like Abraham Lincoln has been killed. God can't forgive these things, you know, he was such a great soul. Now just see how it's reacting. This Americans are in danger for nothing at all. Everywhere they go, people are after them. Isn't it? It's very sad, but this is what it is. You will find out gradually how. You see, because you had money, people became so conscious of money. And to give an example, I'll give you, in India, once upon a time, they needed, I think, some sort of a rice. So they sent horrid rice to India, horrid rice, Americans. And people could not eat that rice. It's so horrid, absolutely. So they threw it out in the fields. As a result of that, a funny type of a grass started growing, and they called it as Congress grass. And it started eating all the crops and all the things. So when I went to Maharashtra, they started saying, Mother, how to get rid of this one? It's like a demon, it doesn't die, whatever you may try. You tried everything. Then it rained and rained and rained, and that grass was finished. But there were some other seeds inside which grew up into a acacia with such big thorns, you know, and they were fatal to children. And all over this acacia is spread out. Even now, it's such a dangerous thing for children to play around, because if it touches any child, the child may die. They have seen all that. And this is called as they call it a mad acacia in India. Now, we were having a procession. When I was going in the village, they take out my procession. We had only one American with us, you see, and they were all taking photographs, and suddenly he got this acacia in him. Of all the persons, this American should be chosen. Imagine. And then we had to look after him well, because it's a very dangerous thing. Of all the persons, he is the one only who was attacked. I was so surprised. And Alan Nix, isn't it? He got it. So, I mean, if you do something like that, you see, I mean, this was done by the government. They should also, when you are helping somebody, be gracious about it, not to send something which is so useless, isn't it? That way Russians are very clever. Whatever they do it with grace. So what happens? You get attached to Russians, you see. You give 1 rupee, you give $1, but give it with grace, you see. And if you try to show off, oh, I have given you so much money, you don't want it, isn't it? Because it hurts your self-respect. So it has been happening like that. The money consciousness has been very vulgarly expressed so many times. And this is not good. So these people have to come down at that level and to see that if you are helping someone, you are lucky that you can help someone, isn't it? Because you are better off. One must know you are better off, so you are helping others. And it's a very great thing, God's blessings on you, that you can help others. One should think like that. The whole thing should be of love and affection, and do it with love. But on the contrary, the way they did it was really, they got very angry, all the people, that what do they think us to be? Worse than even our beggars would not eat such wheat price, they said. I have to show them down, you see. And this made them very angry, all these people. Of course, I mean, that problem was solved next year, no problem, but the other problem started with it. So one has to understand that when you try to do good to others or anything, you must know that it is, God has made you so capable that He is a part and parcel of you. Whom are you helping? Yourself, isn't it? Say, my finger is sick, so I am helping my finger. Who is the other? I am helping myself. So because of these little things also, I think God is angry, because the way we have felt about other nations, you see. After all, this is a country belonging to Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is this is the chakra of Vishuddhi. This America is Vishuddhi chakra, is the most important and the perfect. I mean, it's a very important chakra, this one, and has to take the responsibility of the whole world, supposed to be taking, for the benevolence, for everything. On the contrary, that's why it is so blessed, because it is Vishuddhi. But they are not aware of it. We should think once, why are we blessed so much? Shouldn't we? And that's what has happened. If you think, why are we blessed? There must be something. God wants us to do something much greater. And this is it that has kept me away from reality, that God has blessed them with a purpose. Now, say Maharashtra, where you will be coming, Maharashtra, where our work is going on in India, is that the Kundalini, is the Kundalini of the universe. And England is the heart of the universe. Imagine, the heart is frozen. England, English people have a frozen heart, absolutely a frozen heart. They tell me, Mother, melt our heart. Now I said, what am I to do? Put some electric shock there or what? You have better hearts, but Vishuddhi is not. Vishuddhi is the responsibility. The responsibility. As we say, on your shoulders. You say, that's a very good song. The whole world is in your hand, isn't it? In your hands means Vishuddhi chakra. But what do you do with the world? Make a mess? So you have to feel responsible for the whole world. Responsibility is your essence for Americans. Once you start feeling responsible, also that will really change the entire fiber of your country, if you understand the responsibility. Say your education system, you just started off your heads, from somewhere it came, freedom to children. Give freedom to children. Let them do what they like. Now, face it. And all over the world it has spread, This freedom business has spread all over the world. You can't talk to them. You just can't tell them anything. They won't listen to you. And what is the freedom now? It's nothing but violence. You started this kind of a new system, give freedom to children, give freedom to children. Then what happens? Now you can't control them. And all over the world, whatever culture you start spreads all over the world. Your dresses today you wear in America, tomorrow you will find it in England, then in Austria. You start the things because you are responsible. But that sense of responsibility, unless and until you all Americans feel it, even in Saj Yoga you are responsible. The way you will behave, others will behave. You see that. That's the only fright I have. Now you have to behave like Saj Yogis, just like a rock. So others can see you and say, oh, that's it. That's the capacity God has given you, that people look upon you as ideals. I don't know whether Americans realize that responsibility. That you have to be ideal people. And this is what I request Americans, you see, to take up responsibility. They can, because God has given them powers to become that, to be responsible. Vibrations flow, see. Now just put your hands. You have to be responsible. But every nation, whatever chakras it represents, its acts are just the other way down. You'll be amazed. Like, Americans are supposed to be responsible, to be witness, and they are the fathers. So there you find it's all missing. But English have a frozen heart. And Europe, which is the liver, is suffering from bad liver, absolutely bad liver. They drink so much, eat that horrible cheese. Can you eat that cheese, horrible one that they eat, horrible, with fungus in it, and spoil all their livers? They're so fond of it, you can't imagine. And they rot everything. You see, everything has to be rotten. Alcohol must be so many years old. Then this cheese must be so many years old, and you find worms in them, and they like to eat that. Horrible, I tell you. That's Europe. Imagine liver. So if the liver starts eating those fungus, God save this world. Like that, every country is like that. Like now, we should say that there is a Kundalini in Maharashtra. You can say the Kundalini has to do the seeking. There's no seeking in Maharashtra, no seeking. As such, they don't seek the way you people are madly seeking. I wish you were in Maharashtra and they were here. Would have been better idea. It's all upside down. Now better. Just see. Don't think. Thinking too much. Your ego, this agya is working. No, don't think. You go mad thinking one day. Don't think. Better. The mantra is don't think, don't think, don't think. And another is forgive everyone, forgive everyone. Your agya will open up. You better. Alright? Yes, let's have that. See, you don't try to cure them. My photo is sufficient to cure them. You just don't try, because just now you have got your realization. So don't put your hand to that. But you can help them by giving photograph and telling them how to meditate. It's very simple. That Warren will tell you very clearly. Bhaskar is here also, and he will tell you what is to be done. Every sort of sickness can be tried, but you cannot guarantee 100%. But most of it can be cured, but give them the photograph. As a result of that, they will develop faith in themselves that you have not done for them, and secondly, that they will have a substantial amount of vibrations within themselves. But if you try, what will happen? They'll drain out your vibrations as well.
No, but then we, why, do you understand what I was asking? Can we go to them and say, maybe this is something you should...
Yes, as Mother said, you You give them the photograph, you explain to them what has to be done. Daska will tell you in detail what has to be done. But you don't work on them. That's the point, Mother said.
You should not. You should keep yourself in bandhan, because for some time at least you should be very protective. Warren tried that. You see, first attention. Yes, no. You see, Warren tried that because he's a doctor himself. You see, so he tried. Then he found that those people who came to him got cured and disappeared. Then they came out with another disease, and then with another. So then he gave that up. He said, you better treat yourself. So as a result of that, they are prepared for realization. And once you get realization, it's seldom you get sick. All doctors' bills are off. Don't have to pay to any doctor or any.
That's true.
See, all kinds of things in every religious book they have put wrong. Every book. Bible, they have wronged it. They have wronged Gita, they have wronged everything. See, I'll tell you how it is contradictory, if you can just be little subtler about it. Gita contradicts itself. It says that your caste is determined by your birth, postnatal. Absolutely wrong, impossible. This could not have been written by Vyasa. That means if you are born to a Brahmin, you become a Brahmin. Impossible. He cannot write. Why? Because Vyasa was an illegitimate child of a fisher woman. How could he write that if you are born to a Brahmin, is a Brahmin? What was his caste then? So all these controversies come up, I know, because whatever is written is not Bible, first of all, and whatever is Bible is not real Bible. Now this Mr. Paul, why was he there in the Bible? How is he there? You can put even Sid there, anybody who is organizing Christianity. So we have to see to the essence of it. Everywhere they have tried to spoil. Now this is a Brahminism. All those people who tried to use religion for their own purpose, for making money, have put all these ideas. You see? And that's why it looks as if it's in the Gita. No. But we have now another book called Gita Enlightened. You read that book. That will explain. This is the Agya Chakra. If you concentrate on you, one goes mad. One can go mad. It's the easiest way. If you want to become mad, better concentrate. Because this is the movement to the left and to the right. But the door, it is inside. But in the Vedas is written that it is like the Suvarneva, like the golden cap, which has to be opened up. It's written like that. So all these people, those who talk like this, have no authenticity on experiment. Every book has been ruined. Now see, Quran if you read, you will see it has so much on the resurrection day. But have you heard anybody talking about resurrection among Islams? And now the Muslims are fighting among themselves. These fundamentalists. Thank God these fundamentalists can show to others what fundamentalism is. Christianity is just the other way round of Christ. Other way round of Christ. It is nowhere near Christ, I can assure you. See, Christ has said, thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. Christianity should have achieved that. But it's difficult to find a Christian without an adulterous eye. Non-Christians you'll find, but not Christians. Christians' eyes are always like that. Why? If Christ was the one, if you were following Christ, you should have had purest eyes. Leave alone achievement, otherwise also. Christ has never said that you should suffer. This is Mr. Paul. Instead of following Christ, they are following Paul now. And so much so that Protestants are even now worse than, I used to think the Catholics were stupid, but Protestants are even worse. Because the Protestants have made it so subtle, it's all brain wave. Now they are saying that Christ's conception was not immaculate conception. Openly, there is the Archbishop of Drummond. in London. There's a big controversy going on. I don't know if you have heard about this one. This horrible fellow says that there was no immaculate conception of God. These fishermen were ordinary people and they didn't understand. They wanted to make it look like something very miraculous. It was not like that. And Archbishop of Canterbury, the great Protestant, anointed him with great honors in a church in York, and the whole church top was burnt by electricity. And then the shameless people say that it was God's grace that the whole church was not burnt. Now they have gone to such a limit that they are saying Christ was a homosexual. Yeah, you don't know, there's a horrible picture about Christ's mother having relationship with Christ. There's a film which was to be banned by the Queen. She did not. This is Protestants. See, that's why I took my birth among Protestants. They are the greatest fanatics, but so subtle mentally that you cannot reach them. Others are obvious. You see, Muslims are stupid people. You can make them out to be fanatics. But not Protestants. You cannot make them out. Because all mental. Very subtle. But they are deceiving themselves. They'll miss the big point. Because how can they understand divine through their brains? They cannot. Divinity is a miracle for this brain. Have you shown them my photograph, any photograph of mine? You cannot explain my photographs, you see them. Better show. They have got it in the other place, but you can have a look. The photographs where light is coming on my head, shafts of lights and things. The photograph where the light is coming out of my hand here, going forming ohms. There are photographs where many hands are seen. There is a photograph where the sun is on my hand. There's a photograph, sun on my heart. How do you explain? Protestants cannot explain. Void were I? See here on the void. From the fingers also there is light coming out of my fingers. Now you don't see it, but the camera does.
Face in the clouds. Face in the clouds.
In the clouds, complete my face. Even I used to wear a diamond here, that diamond, and this space in the teeth is also there. My smiling face. And that's a recent one, because this I started wearing recently, and they saw a cloud, very odd looking cloud came in suddenly and was bursting out with light. So they were quite amazed. I had never seen such a scene. That too in Switzerland, near Matterhorn. So they said, what is this happening? And then the lights started coming out of that cloud, you see, and then they accumulated into one big cloud. So they took photographs. Nobody takes photographs of the clouds normally. And my photograph is there. Exactly my photograph. How do you explain? That's what they say. But even Catholics have some very, very wrong ideas, no doubt. And same with Protestants. But Protestants are so clever that they have brought it to the mental level. Now you can't challenge them. Many Hindus ask me, why did you take your birth in a Protestant family? I said, with a purpose. I have to talk to them. But, my father was an enlightened soul, very enlightened. I would say he was like my guru to tell me about human beings, what their problems are. He was a master of 14 languages, very learned man. We come from a sort of a royal dynasty family and all that, and he had all those great qualities of great heart and all that. And I asked him as a child, I remember, who is this Paul, how is he in the Bible? He said, same, the problem is with me, I don't know why he is there. He told me the same. And he knew that I have to do this work of mass realization. And he was also member of Parliament and Constituent Assembly and all that, very learned man. But one thing, he always said that unless and until you find out the method of mass realization, don't talk about God. because it will make another Bible or Gita. That's no good. Better do practical and let people have it. That's the job you have to do. You have come for that mission. But it was very difficult. Very difficult, because I started with one person. I being a Christian, they were all Hindus who see. You see, Hindus see to it easily, much more, because you see they have not organized religion. They are much more free and they are not so much conditioned. So, in the beginning I started with one lady and we had only 12 people realized after 2 years. Then I came to America. It was such a failure and it was very, very difficult. In England it was so difficult, you can't imagine. But it's working out. Working out. I mean, you all are seekers, but the concept and the conditioning of what you have to find is so different from reality. And also one feels that we should, who is she? Like many questions they asked me like this. Why should you do it? I said, you better do it, give me some pension. I mean, I'm really fed up of doing all this. You better do it for me. Then they would keep quiet. Are there more photographs in this? No.
None of that kind.
No. All right, you read it out what these people had to say. Like, let us hear about Rabindranath Tagore. He got his realization in the later part and he had described you people. Either you become primitive people or you become a higher personality. Otherwise, the same way if you live, you will be becoming superficial without the sages. Now you are the sages, you can save America. You all can, but feel the responsibility. That's a compilation of all the visions people had about today. I mean, the way the Sahaja Yoga is working out is the compilation called Visions, done by Australians. Australians are doing very fast. I mean, going very fast, I must say. Right? So, I thank you very much for coming over and meeting me. I'm so full with joy and a kind of a emotional feeling that I have to leave you now. Every time I leave the place, I don't know whether I am unhappy or happy, because I feel extremely unhappy to leave. My children here, especially you people, just now got realization, like little babes you look to me. And then I have to think of the others who are waiting for me there. But look after yourselves. Look after yourselves. You have to be responsible. You have to look after so many. You can give realization to thousands, but feel responsible and understand your value. I'm sure it will work out in Houston. First time I came to America was Houston. You will be amazed. Surprising how I came to America first time, to Houston alone. So Houston must do some great job for the whole of America. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Any problem, you can write to us. Anything you need, you write to us. We'll send you photographs, books, whatever you want. Everything will be available. And Bhaskar has come all the way from Sagamner. He's a very dynamic person. His wife Linda is another, I call her a sweetie pie, but she's a very intelligent and efficient lady. And very good person. And Sahaja Yoga, she's really pure intelligence, I should call her. And you like her very much. So please let me know if there's any problem, anything whatsoever. And also, I think best is to take to the diary, to write down how much God has blessed us. Count your blessings one by one and feel happy. May God bless you.
हम सभी अब मिलकर श्री माता जी की आरती करेंगे।
सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, मिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी सरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी शक्ति माता जी, श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।